Imagine waking up to waves instead of alarm clocks, or swapping traffic jams for mango trees and cobblestone streets. What if you could hit the reset button on life? No visa, no red tape, just pack your bags and go. Welcome to the dream. These are the top 10 countries where you could stay visa-free for 4 months or more. And stop typing. There are a bunch of countries that offer 3 months or under visa-free stays. The Philippines, Malaysia, Argentina, Costa Rica, the list goes on. And 3 seems to be the typical length. We're looking at the above average stays. Got it? Get it? Good. Let's take a look. Number 10, Bermuda. Luxury island life just a hop away. Fly 14 hours to reach paradise. Just a quick jaunt east of North Carolina lies Bermuda, a pink sand oasis where Americans can stay up to 180 days without a visa. Now, let's get this out of the way. Bermuda is not cheap. This isn't your budget backpacker's haven. It's luxury island living with the cost of groceries and rent to match. But here's the thing. It feels expensive in the best way. Crystal clear turquoise waters, postcard perfect pastel houses, and a lifestyle so laid back it practically reclines. A 1-bedroom apartment might set you back $2,000 to $3,000 a month, but what you get in return is safety, charm, and a community where you don't need to worry about learning a new language or navigating chaotic city systems. Healthcare is private and top tier, with American standards and fast service. Want to work remotely? The internet here is fast and reliable, perfect for digital nomads with deep pockets and shallow winter tolerances. I was looking at home prices. If you want anything within, let's say, 200 yards of the ocean or lagoon, you'll be dropping over $1 million. So if your idea of escape involves sipping rum Swizzlers while watching sailboats drift by, Bermuda just might be the island upgrade you're looking for. No stay visas in Bermuda are 180 days with the option to extend. Number 9, Fiji. Island time, no visa required. If you've ever fantasized about dropping everything and disappearing into a postcard, Fiji is your calling. This South Pacific paradise is home to over 300 islands, and it lets Americans stay visa-free for up to 4 months. That's about 121 days of palm trees, crystal clear water, and the kind of peace that makes your stress pack up and leave before you do. Life in Fiji moves to the rhythm of the ocean, slow, calm, and effortlessly beautiful. It's not just about hammocks and honeymoons, though those are definitely included. It's also a surprisingly practical place to escape, live cheaply, and maybe even start a new chapter far away from rush hours and rising rents. Let's talk about the rent. Renting a modest 1-bedroom apartment in places like Suva Nadi can run between $400 and $1,000 per month American. If you go rural off the main island, it gets even cheaper. Utilities are affordable, and produce, papayas, pineapples, coconuts, they're abundant at local markets. And cheap. You could feast on tropical fruit for a week for about the same money you buy a smoothie at Whole Foods back in the US. Meals at local eateries? Well, they're around $3 to $5 depending on how fancy you want to go. Fijian cuisine blends Indian, Chinese, and Pacific flavors. You'll never get bored unless you somehow don't like coconut curry or freshly grilled reef fish. The healthcare in Fiji is a mix of public and private services. For expats and visitors, private clinics are the go-to. And they're both affordable and competent. Visiting a private doctor, on average, about $25 to $50. Now, you can only stay 121 days, but Fiji also offers stay options if you fall in love with the island life, and you probably will. There's a renewable visitor permit that stays up to 6 months and investor-friendly residency paths if you're looking to go full castaway. Like I said, no visa stays start off at 121 days. Number 8, Montenegro, Europe's hidden gem with Adriatic views. Ever dream of living in a medieval walled city by the sea without needing a European trust fund? Montenegro might be your dream come true. Americans can stay here for up to 120 days visa-free, giving you plenty of time to fall in love with charming towns and ridiculously scenic coastlines. Now, I've read a few different things about staying longer than your 120 days. Some people say it's really easy. You just have to go down to a government office, tell them how long you want to stay, and fill out some brief paperwork. Other people said it's a lot of red tape and a pain in the butt unless you're on your road to citizenship. These things change all the time, so both could be right. Just depends on when the person wrote the article. Rent in the different cities hover between $350 and $600 a month for a 1-bedroom apartment. Local food is cheap and fresh with seafood, local cheeses, and produce that'll make you feel like a Mediterranean chef. Or you end up being a chef like me, where everything I cook ends up looking like scrambled eggs. Try and make something, and then I just start getting a mixing bowl out and putting it all together and cooking it in a frying pan. That's cooking, folks. Private clinics charge between $30 and $50 per visit, and insurance won't eat your retirement away. Montenegro offers natural beauty with fewer tourists and fewer zeros to your bills. No visa stays can last as long as 120 days without having to extend it. Number 7, Georgia. Not the state, the country with wine and good Wi-Fi. Georgia gives Americans a full year, yes, 365 days of visa-free living. And if that doesn't sound like an invitation to settle in, I don't know what does. Tbilisi, the capital, is a weird and wonderful mix of ancient churches, Soviet blocks, and trendy cafes. Rent is jaw-droppingly low at $300 to $500 a month for a decent place. Meals range between $4 and $8, and healthcare is both affordable and competent. Private doctor visits about $30 to $50, so it's not setting you back too much. Georgia has been putting out the red carpet for people to come stay in Georgia, not just as a visitor, live there long term. Georgia also produces incredible wine. It has mountains that look like postcards and locals who treat you like family after one conversation and a glass of cha-cha. What's not to love? If you don't know what cha-cha is, it's like a brandy. Yes, it's also a dance, and in some countries it's a word you use for uncle. But the drink cha-cha is described as wine vodka or grape vodka. It's strong, clear, and typically has a high alcohol content. So there's that if you move to Georgia. No-stay visas in Georgia can last up to 1 year, with the possibility of citizenship or a longer stay. Number 6, Barbados. Island luxury without the paperwork. If your idea of paradise is turquoise water, white sands, reggae rhythms, and fresh seafood on the beach, then Barbados might just be your dream destination. The best part? Americans can stay up to 6 months without a visa. Half a year of island life with no paperwork. Barbados might sound like it belongs on the cover of a high-end travel magazine, and it does. But living there doesn't have to come with the celebrity price tag. Sure, it's not Southeast Asia cheap, but compared to the US coastal cities, Barbados starts looking like a bargain in a swimsuit. Renting a one-bedroom here near the beach or in the island's interior usually ranges from $500 to $900 a month, depending on the location and style. Local meals cost between $5 and $10. Utilities run about $100 a month for all of them. Now, obviously, if you want some higher-end meals, they got them, and they could get pricey, but $5 or $10 is your typical go get something to eat type food. Healthcare, Barbados is another plus. The island has a mix of public and private options. While expats often opt for the private care, a doctor's visit will still only cost between $30 and $50. Again, these things change all the time, so if you're watching this a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, I'm sure these numbers have gone up. What makes Barbados stand out even more is its digital nomad visa. Yes, it's called Barbados Welcome Stamp, and if you decide 6 months isn't enough, this visa allows remote workers to live on the island for a full year, all while earning income outside of Barbados. It's like getting a license to work in paradise. And did I mention the weather? Expect 82 degrees and sunny most of the year, with a cool breeze and the occasional rain shower. Just enough to keep everything green. So if you're craving island life with blends of Caribbean charm, modern amenities, and a generous visa policy, like I said, a no visa stay can last 6 months to a year. Number 5, Nepal. Himalayan sunrises and spiritual simplicity. If your soul needs more than beach bars and hammock naps, if you crave snow-capped peaks, ancient temples, and a cost of living so low, you'd think you're in the middle of some kind of sting operation. And yes, Americans can stay in Nepal for up to 150 days per calendar year. They also have a low-cost tourist visa that's easy to extend once you're there. No embassy runs or complicated paperwork, just mountain views and mindfulness. Now let's talk money. Renting a one-bedroom apartment in Kathmandu, the capital city, will run you between $200 and $450 American dollars a month, depending on your location and amenities, of course. Head out to the more rural areas, and the prices drop even further. A meal here, basic one, can cost you between $1 and $2, while dining out in a mid-range restaurant can cost a whopping $8 to $10. Healthcare in Nepal is affordable also. Private hospitals in Kathmandu offer modern care for a fraction of what you'd pay in the US. A routine doctor visit costs between $20 and $40, and pharmacies are abundant and budget-friendly. While public healthcare exists, many expats and visitors opt for the private clinics where English-speaking staffs are more common. The best part about Nepal is the laid-back pace, spiritual ambience, and genuinely kind locals make it feel like a warm hug from the universe. You don't need a yacht or a luxury visa package to feel rich in this country. Just a backpack, a flexible return date, and an open heart. Like I said, no visa stays can last up to 150 days, with the option to extend, and that's very easy. Number 4, Dominica, the Caribbean's wild, untamed gem. Tired of overly touristy islands where the beaches are packed and the prices are sky high? Then meet Dominica. Not to be confused with the Dominican Republic. This is the nature island of the Caribbean. And it's basically what you get when you mash Jurassic Park with chilled out beach towns minus the dinosaurs. Americans can stay in Dominica for up to 6 months visa-free, which is plenty of time to figure out how to never leave. The island is lush, mountainous, and refreshingly under the radar. No mega resorts, no crowded cruise ports, just rainforests, waterfalls, natural hot springs, and locals who will greet you like your family. You know it's off the grid when the Google Street View car hasn't even made it to the island. They have some footage, but it's not done by Google. It looks like it's done by locals with Insta360 cameras. Now, I read a bunch of things on it, and it's described as nature's beauty with just some small towns and no busy cruise ports. While I was poking around Google Earth, I found this one. That looks like a cruise ship to me. It's definitely not a big cruise ship, but that's a cruise ship. Renting a place, expect to pay around $400 to $700 American dollars a month for a comfortable one-bedroom apartment, depending on how close you are to the beach or the capital city of Rosso, where I found the cruise ship. I feel like a detective at this point. The cost of living here stays low thanks to local markets overflowing with bananas, avocados, and more. All for a few bucks a basket. A hearty local meal might run you about $5 to $10, and even at a nice restaurant, you'll rarely cross $20. Unless you're indulging in lobster and rum punch, which by the way, you absolutely should. Healthcare Dominica is solid for the region. Island has both public and private clinics, with private care costing a fraction of what you'd pay in the United States. Routine doctor visit about $30 to $50. And many of the doctors speak English. Like I said, no visa stays can last up to 6 months, gives you plenty of time to start your citizenship process if you really like living here. Number 3, Panama, the bridge between North and South and retirement. 180 days of visa-free access and a special retiree program. Pensionado Visa is what they call it. Panama is like the VIP lounge for American expats. Rent here in a major city is usually about a quarter of what you'd pay for a major city in the United States. You can get dinner at a local place for $5 to $10. Healthcare, modern and cheap, $30 to $50 a visit. The infrastructure is solid and the internet is fast. The beaches stretch for miles. I've lived here. I love Panama. It is a great place. Just a little too hot and muggy for me. And that hot and muggy lasts all year unless you got a hurricane coming through. And that presents a whole bunch of other problems and you start wishing the heat would come back with the still air. Now, when I was younger and I was there in the 90s, the younger people didn't like the Americans. The older people did. The next time I visited, it wasn't for a year or two at a time, so I really didn't have enough time to get the vibe of how it is. But from the people I've talked to and the things I've looked up, it really just depends on where you go. Whether you're drawn to one of Panama's major cities or cool mountain air, Panama offers luxury at a modest budget. No visa stays in Panama are 180 days. If you got a pension and you want to retire there, they make it really easy to become a citizen or live there permanently. All in all, Panama's a great place to live. Stay out of the bad neighborhoods, you'll be fine. Every country's got them. Number 2, St. Lucia, the Caribbean's underrated crown jewel. Imagine waking up to twin volcanic peaks towering over turquoise waters, sipping your morning coffee while the sound of steel drums drift across the breeze. Welcome to St. Lucia, one of the most stunning and accessible destinations in the Caribbean. And here's the kicker. Americans can stay visa-free for up to 6 weeks. Now, I know we're going over 6 months, but all you have to do is drop off a form to get up to 6 months after that. St. Lucia blends natural beauty with a laid-back, friendly vibe that instantly makes you feel like you're going to live there forever. You'll find a mix of French, British, and Caribbean cultures, and everything from mountaintop yogas to fire-breathing street festivals. Now let's talk the cost of living, because paradise is even better when it doesn't break the bank. Renting a one-bedroom apartment here can run between $400 and $900 a month, depending on whether you're in the capital or a sleepy coastal village. or perched on the side of a cliff someplace in the mountains. Utilities are modest, local markets are overflowing with fresh fruit, breadfruit, spices, and seafood at prices that'll make your grocery bill back in the States feel like robbery. Eating out, $5 to $10 at a local spot. A splurge for dinner with ocean views and a bottle of local rum, you're looking at $20 to $30. Healthcare in St. Lucia is a mix of public and private clinics. Many expats and long-term visitors choose private options for the faster service, where doctor visits usually cost $30 to $60. And yes, they speak English there. You don't have to play charades at the pharmacy. Another plus, they have a massive American expat community here as well. All right, before we get to number 1, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, what are you waiting for? Get on it. Just hit that subscribe button so you know when we're going to upload. All right, on to number 1. And number 1, Canada. Now, Canada and UK are about the same. They have pretty much the same rules here. They're both 6 months. If you want to go international without actually going very far, Canada is your safest, snowiest bet. Now, Canada does tend to be more expensive in a lot of places. Sure, you get out in the rural areas, it's pretty cheap. It's very similar to the United States. And the cost of living varies wildly depending on where you land. Vancouver and Toronto, bring your gold bars. But smaller cities like Halifax and Winnipeg or Quebec City, they're a little more affordable. The Canadian healthcare system is one of the best in the world, but it's mostly available to permanent residents only. Still, visitors can access private healthcare at rates far below the United States. Many expats purchase temporary health insurance while they're staying there. Now, we've gone over Canada a couple times in recent videos, so we're not going to go all in depth on it. Just know it's cold, the people are friendly, at least they used to be, and you better like maple syrup and beer. You could stay in Canada for 6 months with no visa. Although after 6 months, there are some hoops involved, and it gets kind of, you're going to need a lawyer, put it that way. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a great day, be nice to each other.